welcome. It's a beautiful weekend today. It's a Saturday. I almost didn't make it for this episode of Chit Chat with the African in Ecuador. My name is Dorcas Glader. Yeah, I had a beautiful morning. I went out with the husband. We had a nice time, and okay, we're back. I thought, okay, since I have the house to myself, it's quiet, maybe someone needed to hear these words of encouragement. Everybody at one point or another, or even currently, has experienced unconditional love. And I'm not talking about romantic love. You've had that one friend that loves you, that one friend or that one person in your family that holds you dearly. And for many people, we kind of tend to take our family love for granted. There are people who do not have that blessing, who have not known, who come from dysfunctional families. And so for them is a privilege when they have that one grandma or that uncle or even family friends who have turned out to be families to them. And so we tend to, we need to realize that they don't owe you, your family doesn't owe you that love. But however, people love you unconditionally. One of the peoples that I think love unconditionally are mothers. A mother will love her child through thick, thin, and day and night. And some people also don't have that love. So, like I said, I almost didn't make it. And it's not a big deal. I'm really enjoying the creativity process of being an upcoming content creator because I do not have so much of a large following as yet, but the views are going up. I'm grateful for that. And so I am kind of in a flexible space where I can decide, okay, I'm not going to publish today. I'm just going to sit down and learn and get better at my craft. Because when you become a big content creator, there is that tendency to be constricted by the expectations of your followers. There is a pattern, there is a rule, there is a routine that you tend to follow. And sometimes for many people, it can cause breakdown. Okay. So, but when you are still up and coming, hi, Alisa, you have that flexibility. You can choose not to say hello. You can choose to say, okay, I don't have a many following. I can take the break off. For example, on Saturdays, I normally go live between the hours of 12, between the hours of 10 and 11. However, this is 1 o'clock and everything seems to work out fine. I thought, okay, let me come and encourage somebody. Now, this is the story I wanted to share with you to say, be yourself, do you, and excel at being you because just like your fingerprints are unique, you are unique on this earth. The problem with many of us is that we think we are called to reach a very large following. Not all of us are going to be famous, not all of us are going to be popular, but you're going to make an impact, and how you choose to make that impact is what matters. Let me use a story to portray what I'm trying to say. Hello, Lisbeth. How are you? Explain what I'm trying to say. So last Sunday, after service, my friend, I wanted to escort my friend home, and then she told me she wanted to go buy food. She just wanted to eat. Muy bien, gracias. She wanted to eat and just go to bed and rest for the Sunday afternoon. She's much older than myself. And so what happened was I accompanied her to a restaurant that is not on the major road. Most restaurants from in Ecuador operate in the sitting rooms. So instead of a living space, they use that place as restaurant. So we have what is standard, uh, what normally should be called an eatery. It's different from a restaurant, right? Most eating places in Ecuador are like that, especially in the city where I live. So we went to this house and it was just 11, closed, church closed quite early. And so, hello, Anthony Medrano. And so when we got there, I looked at the environment and it was quite, dingy, not properly lit, but they didn't have food. Now, lunch hour in Ecuador begins around 12. But these people had started selling breakfast, and by 11, they had run out of some soups, you know. And so my friend bought another soup, and I asked her, I'm like, this is not where we normally go out to eat, because when we go out to eat, we go to a different restaurant. And she said to me, no, I come here because their food is, the soups here is bland. Can you imagine? Meaning there isn't much salt, there isn't much spices, but it works for her tummy. As she's gotten older, she's had a lot of gastrointestinal problems so that she cannot handle a lot of spicy food, right? So she found out this restaurant that really doesn't cook very well, but works for her. Okay. So this is the moral of the lesson. A lot of us come to social media, we come to YouTube, Facebook, we want to create our channel, but we don't know our niche, we don't know exactly what we want to do, or sometimes we even know what we want to do. Some of us just want to be fashion bloggers, some of us want to talk about sports, some of us want to uplift people, and we do not know exactly how it is to keep those subscribers coming back. We do not know what it is that will drag people to come to our channels and subscribe. Let me tell you the lesson I learned from this story. You see, when you go into business, you have the expectation that everybody is going to like your services or your product. It is not true. You will have a clientele that will match your product or your service, right? And it's the same thing here on social media. You will find people who will understand your language, who will like your content. You don't have to be a professional. It's not the matter, the number of gadgets that you have. It's not how well you know how to edit, how fanciful your thumbnail is. Those count. Those things count. Like I have noticed that a very attractive thumbnail draws people to open, to click on your content, on your video on YouTube. However, the content itself is what makes you you. Okay. So you cannot go and say you want to be like A, for example, with the restaurant case. You cannot say, okay, no, because people put X amount of salt in their food, I too have to put X amount of salt in my food because people are going to come and eat here because I cook like restaurant X, right? This is a lady who, for some people, her food will be uh, qualified as tasteless. But there is a following of people who want that tasteless food. It's the same thing with a restaurateur who cooks spicy food. There are people who like spicy food. Some go to fast food restaurant because they like fast food, right? So it's the same thing here on YouTube. You bring your uniqueness as a content creator to the space. It's how you laugh, it's how you speak, it is how you deliver your content. There are many fashion channels here on YouTube, but everybody subscribes to whatever fashion channel they subscribe because there is something about that YouTuber, how they deliver their message. Maybe it's their colors, maybe it's their fashion style, maybe it's just their quirkiness in their presentation of whatever they are trying to share on their channel. And so my encouragement for you today as a content creator is for you to be you, right? While becoming the best version of yourself. We are all here learning, discovering sometimes things that we do not even know about ourselves, right? For example, you do not know how much knowledgeable you were on something until you started teaching it, or you didn't know that your phone could edit something to make it more appealing to your followers, okay? But you are doing you, you are not competing, but you are learning from the competition, right? You're going to bigger channels, you're seeing what it is that they are learning, what it is that's making their videos make people click on it. You're learning editing, you are learning storytelling, you are learning whatever it is you're learning in your niche here on YouTube, and you're becoming better at it, okay? But you are the main package. You are what makes the content click. You are what makes people come to the channel. So you have to work on yourself. As a beginner, what I have found out is to focus on honing your craft, is to be, in my case, is to be a better storyteller, is to be more more eloquent, to make people to be more coherent, to be more positive, even in the way I deliver my message. That way, people, when they come, they can take up something and say, okay, this is what she said, and I understand her, or this is how she speaks, or this is how what she's trying to say, and get better at what you're doing. All right. That's the message I wanted to share with you. You are going to get your followers, you're going to get your YouTuber, your subscribers, you're going to get the returning subscribers, but it's going to take time. And it's the same thing in business. It's the same thing with your studies. If you're going to school, and if you're here who are students, maybe your future dream is to be a nurse, to be a doctor, and you're going to learn from people who are doctors when you go to the hospital or from class, and little by little you're going to get better. The thing I want you to take with you, or that I learned from that event last Sunday, is this: when you do what you know how to do best, to the best of your ability, you will find people who will appreciate that effort. You do not have to be the best, but you have to be the best that you can be, the best version of yourself. And that is why I said becoming, because every day is an opportunity to get better, is an opportunity to improve. If you are learning English, Alisa, Anthony, you're learning at least I salute you. If you're learning how to speak a language, if you're learning how to, learning how to drive, whatever it is that you're learning how to do, okay, you have to know that there is room for improvement. Nobody woke up being perfect in one day. That is what I wanted to share with you today. So let's get better together. Wishing you a powerful, successful week. And I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for following. Muchísimas gracias to Lisbeth. Estoy bien. Gracias por estar aquí. Alisa, Anthony, deseándoles un lindo fin de semana y una semana exitosa. Nos veremos el próximo sábado. Hasta luego.